anyways, so oh my god, the wind is blowing. Apparently the wind is the perfect character right now. There's a quote that says the present moment is the most magical moment, or the beauty lies in the present moment. And yes, I thought about it and I acted upon that quote, and I did, and I was happy a lot of the times in present moment, but honestly I wasn't embodying this quote the way that I should be. You know, in Kung Fu Panda movie you'll see this quote where it's like the past, no, what was the quote? I will blend it right here right now, as you can tell. And the present is a gift, that's why it's called the present moment. I didn't understand that, to be honest. It wasn't until I opened my eyes to see, oh my gosh, like there's beauty all around me when I go out in nature. And while I was looking at the sunset and standing on my balcony, I ended up being so in awe of the sunset. I was just mesmerized by the sunset. And it wasn't just that, I was just going through something really hard and processing something really painful, and I wanted to just get my mind off of it. I was just sitting by the window in my room and I started singing with closing my eyes and just letting myself hum, and it just kind of calms me down. So I started singing by closing my eyes and singing my favorite song and just feeling the cold wind on my skin. And by the way, there's a bell from the church that's been going on, so if you hear the bell, yeah, that's the bell from the church. But anyways, I was feeling the wind on my skin and I was singing, and there's this so much peace within my heart. I couldn't even explain it, bro. It was incredible, and it was like I was at the right place at the right time, where I was fully immersed in this present moment. I wasn't thinking about the past, I wasn't thinking about the future. I was here and I was in the now. And that moment made me also see the beauty in the present moment. When you are thinking about the past, you are anxious. When you're thinking about the future, you are worried and stressed. And when you're in the present moment, it's like, I don't know, it's this acceptance and peace. Deal with whatever you have here now instead of worrying about the future. I realized, holy F, I was like withholding and not allowing myself to be as happy as I could be right here, right now, because I was depending my happiness on something that will happen in the future. But I'm robbing myself of the joy and happiness and peace that I could feel at this moment right here, right now. And when I had that moment, it was like, wow, so I could allow myself to be happy right now? It's like, yeah, it's really that simple. The future is the continuous moment of the present moment. We have nothing but the present moment. And it's like, why was I not allowing myself to be happy right now? And I realized the reason why I wasn't allowing myself, there was a bird flying. The reason why I didn't allow myself to be happy right now, because I thought, I come from a background, and in my childhood and even growing up, I experienced abuse and had a lot of things happening to me one after the another, where honestly my hope was honestly crushed. But it was my inner child that helped me regain a sense of hope and see the world through the eyes of wonder like a child, and see the beauty in the smallest things. Even if I went through those not so good things, more like abuse, I went through toxic connections, I went through abuse in childhood and growing up, and it's like, how can I allow myself to be happy because I'm waiting for a shoe to drop, I'm waiting for something bad to happen, because oh, then I wouldn't feel so caught off guard. And I realized that's the thing. It was the lack of trust in life, because I was so let down so many times. It was my lack of trust that life can be good for me. And boy, that hit me so hard, because it also the fact that people that experience trauma during their childhood and growing up, your nervous system is dysregulated. When your nervous system is dysregulated, you are in fight or flight mode. You may have heard about that. Now, when you are in fight or flight mode, you are in survival mode. It will be really hard for you to be in the present moment and really enjoying that, because you'll be like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to be caught off guard, or oh my gosh, what if something might happen to me? And it's like, that's the survival mode. You're looking out for yourself if something bad will happen or not. It's like an animal that's running from a prey. That's how it makes you feel in your body. It makes you feel like it's unsafe. And that's the thing, I was feeling unsafe in my body, and my nervous system was dysregulated, and because of that, I didn't feel safe to be in the present moment or to be in my body. When I realized that, I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. You know, a lot of people, when they've experienced trauma, they feel unsafe in their body. So I started to take responsibility for that. I started to take care of my health and go out for a walk every single day, almost every single day. Some days I would exercise at home, and I would go out and spend time in nature almost every day. And it's like nature reminded me to be in the here and now. And it has helped me so much with my mental well-being that I highly recommend this to everyone. I don't even know why people are honestly not spending enough time in nature as they should be. But anyways, so I started doing that. I realized why people say nature is who we are. We are connected to nature because we are nature. Because nature is the representation of the way that we should be living our life. I'm yelling a bit because it's kind of windy and I don't have a microphone, so I hope you can hear me. But nature is the representation of the way that we should be living our life. When I was in school, right? I hated school, by the way. I honestly was going through a really dark period of time in 8th grade. I was like literally was going through a dark night of the soul and realizing how I didn't want to continue to go to school after 10th grade. At that time, I remember going to school and being so resistant of that I was in school. I was so resistant. It's like, oh, I hated school. I don't want to be here. The more that I was in this energy, the more I hated things and I hated my life. And the more it was difficult for me to even, I don't know, even force myself to go to school when the day came in and it was after the weekend and I was dreading not wanting to go to school. But something happened, like I think sometimes, and I realized this whenever I was in nature, and I just accepted, you know what, I'm in school, let's just get on with it, you know, like let me just go to school for this moment, and I'm gonna be getting out there pretty soon anyways. And sometimes in those moments I felt this peace in my heart. And so the more you are resistant to something, the more stress and pain it creates. But when I let go of that resistance, when I was just allowing myself to be, and I let go of trying to fight everything so hard, and how resistant I was towards the present moment, that I didn't want it to be here. Something interesting happened 2 months before I graduated from 10th grade, which is I was like walking to school in the morning. I looked up at the sky and I had this moment of, oh, life is so beautiful, and I was appreciating nature. At that moment, I accepted fully, you know, I have 2 months, let me just accept things. Like I accepted that, you know, I have 2 months, I'm not gonna have this chapter anymore here, and I'm gonna be moving towards my next chapter anyways after school, so let me just embrace and accept things. And it was just this feeling of acceptance that allowed me to feel a renewed sense of inspiration, joy and peace in my heart, instead of resisting the fact that I was in school and I hated school and I didn't want it to be here. I accepted that I am here, and I accepted that, okay, I didn't like it, but I am here, let me make the most out of it. And I feel like the moment that I let go of that resistance was the moment that I kind of enjoyed my experience, my last 2 months of school that I had. And that was a very important lesson for me, because even another scenario where there was the situation in my life where I wanted to work out in a certain way and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I faced an obstacle, and boy, I was like, I am very disappointed. I was disappointed. And you know what? I'm a human being. I allowed myself to feel that disappointment because I do not promote toxic positivity. So I allowed myself to feel disappointment, and however, I realized how much I was resisting the fact that I didn't get this thing. Oh my gosh, it didn't happen the way that I wanted. And I was in resistance to that because I was not accepting, it didn't happen. I was not accepting that. And at that moment, I felt called to practice Tai Chi. I will never forget the moment I felt so much peace, allowing things to be and allowing and accepting things the way that it happened and not resisting. Because when I resisted, that's when I created so much stress and worries, and I was anxious. But this moment, when I started to practice Tai Chi, it's like this peace was activated in my heart. And it was so beautiful, because then one day I walked on this bridge, and I was standing on this bridge, and I was looking at the river, and it taught me the importance of going with the flow. And for the first time, I understood what it meant to go with the flow. To go with the flow means whatever happens in your life, accept it and go with it. You don't resist it, you don't try to walk the other way or run you just go with it. It's like embracing change. When the call for change comes, instead of running from it or not wanting to face it and embrace it, you go with it. Just like the river that flows and keeps flowing. You know the quote from Bruce Lee that says, "Be like water, shapeless, formless." And there is another quote that says along the lines of, being adaptable and learning how to go with the flow is the reason why I have so much peace in my heart, because I'm not resisting the events in my life. I am flowing with it. And if I am called for change, if I'm called to make a big change in my life, I just go with it. But if I am called to slow down and to not do certain things, or to do certain things, to rest more, if I'm being guided for my higher self to do that, then I do that. And that is the reason why it has allowed me to find this peace in the present moment, where I'm no longer resisting things, where I'm just going with the flow. And I was thinking about this topic of destiny and what is it called? Everything happens for a reason, how everything is interconnected. And I was thinking about that while I was working one day, and this little small white spider just like was walking on my hand. I was like, oh my gosh. That was literally tiny, and I've never seen a white spider before, by the way. But I just Googled it because my higher self communicates through spirit animals. And the meaning of spiders is the fact that everything is interconnected, and that everything happens for a reason, and that destiny is at play, and the fact that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And boy, oh my gosh, I could be I swear to God, at that moment, I had this full circle moment of everything that happened in the past couple of months. And I was like, holy F. The way everything lined up for me to have this moment, to have this feeling, to have this breakthrough, to have this new, renewed sense of inspiration, creativity, and ideas. It's like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And if I didn't make that mistake, then this wouldn't have happened. If I wasn't honestly worrying about that, then I wouldn't come into this conclusion. And it was like this full circle moment. My jaw literally dropped at that moment, because I was like, holy F, like the way my life literally just came together in the midst of the obstacles that I thought I was going through, and how it ended up being blessing in disguise and helped me to become the version of myself that I am today. Oh my gosh, and I cannot even explain this moment, but that's also the reason why I feel a lot of peace in my heart. I accepted the flow of the universe. I accepted the fact that everything is happening as it's supposed to. And I started seeing all the signs and synchronicities to reaffirm that I was exactly at the right place at the right time. But yeah, this is my message. I just wanted to post this video because I really felt called to film this video right here, right now. I guess it will reach the right people that needs to hear this message. But yeah, I'll leave you guys with this. You know what? No, just take this video how it resonates with you. Apply the message where it fits in your life. And if something really resonates with you, know that that was a message meant for you. And I'll see you guys in another video. By the way, as a Leo, I can really care about the way my hair looks, but apparently, F that. Today I let the wind kind of blew my bangs. You know what? It was really beautiful. I love the wind. So whatever. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye. Peace out.